On Thursday the 9th of April we cruised from Marple Aqueduct on the Lower Peak Forest Canal to Uppermill on the Huddersfield Narrow Canal. We were up and away by 6:15 on Thursday morning. Just beyond our overnight mooring was a cut-in that was at one time Rosehill Tunnel. Sometime between 1849 and 1888 the roof collapsed and it was decided to make it into a cut-in. From the state of the towpath it looks as though we had some heavy rain last night. We're approaching our second tunnel on our cruise, the 308-yard long Hyde Bank. A short distance beyond Hyde Bank Tunnel is the small hamlet of Hatherlow within the village of Bredbury. The United Reformed Church was built in 1845, but it traces its history back as far as 1645. Just beyond bridge number 4, Kimberly Dawn came to a sudden stop, and I mean a real sudden stop. Fortunately, there was a gentleman on the towpath and we were able to throw him a rope and he pulled us into the bank. This is what got wrapped around the prop so tight that there was no forward or reverse movement. I thought the prop had come off. Remember me mentioning the pollution spill? Well, this is where it happened, and there were notices posted everywhere saying that if your animal gets into the canal, take it immediately to the vet. I didn't go to the vet, but I did have a very long hot shower. After that enjoyable little episode, we continued on our way. The lift bridge behind Mandy and Yvonne is bridge number 1, the last one on the Peak Forest Canal. Okay girls, we got to take a right here. We're going to take another one of those interesting side trips off the Cheshire Ring. Get ready Mandy, it's a sharp bend. Now comes the tricky part. Let's see how she does. I have to admit, she made a good turn onto the Ashton Canal. Yes, that was the Ashton. We had to cruise about half a mile up to Ashton-under-Lyne Junction to reach the Huddersfield Narrow Canal. It took us 3 hours and 20 minutes from the time we left Marple Aqueduct, but we did have that unplanned stop to get the clothing off the prop. Pat's going to start us on our journey up the Huddersfield Narrow Canal, the HNC. Here she is taking us through the first lock, 1W. The canal's 20 miles long and has 74 locks, as well as the 5,477 yard long Standage Tunnel. We'll visit the tunnel, but we're not going to go through it. These are new waters for Pat and myself. The HNC was restored to full navigation in 2001. That was 8 years after we cruised the system on narrowboat Claire Justine. The locks are suffixed with a W for west up to Standage and an E for east after the tunnel. Between Ashton and Staley Bridge, a distance of just over a mile, the canal passes through a corridor of old buildings and plenty of garbage. Our first impressions of the HNC were not very positive. We arrived at Staley Bridge around 11:30 and Yvonne was really looking forward to a nice fish and chip lunch from the local shop. Unfortunately, it was closed because of family illness. Here she is holding our Pearson's Canal companion with a photo of the area that we're at. The Lockgate sundial was added in 2008. Here's the photo that's in the book. During the restoration of the canal, this area of Staley Bridge was transformed from a dirty wasteland into a showcase for urban renewal. For the next mile or so, we cruised through a region of electricity substations and derelict power stations. I was beginning to wonder if we'd made the right decision to include the HNC in our itinerary. But as we started to approach Moseley, the scenery became much more rural and more to our liking. I'm guessing that this is a rope roller and that it was used to pull boats into the lock. We stopped at the Tollymash Arms in Moseley for a lunchtime pint. Mandy, you just had a pint at the pub. We had some helping hands at Lock 14. It's hard to believe that we're only 10 miles from the centre of Manchester. It was a nice afternoon cruise between Moseley and our final destination for today, Uppermill. We arrived there around 5 o'clock and found a nice mooring in the centre of town. We went to the Wagon for dinner tonight. And it looks like Mandy is not enjoying her steak and kidney pie. I thought it was very good. I'm sure that the reason I'm taking this little nap before bedtime is because of the hearty meal I had.